Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Alex Pettyfer about Warning, which is going to be available October 22nd. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you having me.
It's interesting. This is a film that's very captivating. There's a lot happening. One can make an argument that this is a genre-bending film. There's a lot happening. Did you notice that a little bit when you were reading the script and you signed on to this project, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, it has an element of it's obviously its genre is sci-fi, but the narrative there is interwoven, kind of a little like Crash.
Yep.
That dramatizes a lot of these themes.
Yep.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it's genre bending, but it's definitely in a certain
it's got the sci-fi, but there's just in a lot of projects you've been signing on to, there's a lot of like complex characters and a lot going on with the characters, and I think the characters make it a little bit kind of different and not as clear cut in my opinion these days when I'm watching films, I find.
Yeah, the format has changed.
Absolutely.
You know? But also the way that film is being presented, especially with streaming services, the format is it's better for filmmakers to have the freedom to kind of go back to that 70s era where they have the freedom to make films that are changing of the times.
What excited you about this project specifically when you signed on for it? Was it the sci-fi aspect of it?
Any project always starts with a script.
Yep.
And obviously the blueprint of that, and that was really thought-provoking. You've seen the film?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very thought-provoking on page, and then there was a sizzle reel that was presented by the director, and the aesthetic and the tempo and the visual of that was really captivating, just as a sizzle reel, because it's normally many films that are compressed together to kind of give a feel of what the film could or would look like. Mm-hmm. So as far as that, then I was completely hooked and signed on pretty quickly. More begged to be a part of the film.
Absolutely. You look at a lot of the films that you've done in the past and most recently as well with like also the collection and Echo Boomers, which I really loved as well. There's a lot of different roles you get to play. Obviously, you go where the opportunities go, you go where the opportunities are, but does it also excite you and you think about the fact that you have been able to play a big, wide variety of different characters over the years? Like, that must be a pretty cool feeling as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, I think I've played characters that have been put in environments that are very different. I don't necessarily think that me as an actor has stretched too far left or right, but I definitely know that in the work that I'm doing now, there is a change in psyche for me. I just finished a film with Guy Pearce that my production company has produced, and a lot of the films that I've been doing recently, I've been very grateful that me and my producing partner are kind of picking films that we love. Yep. And it's less now more about the environment, and they are some pieces, genre pieces, but the characters are very intricate. Yeah. Now I'm getting to play not only in different environments, but I'm very, very fortunate that I get to play characters that are very different than what I've done before, so I feel very blessed.
Our story, because like you're like Alex Pettyfer is a storyteller. That's what you do. You bring stories to life. I
feel like Lionsgate has paid you to come on and boost the morale here. I tell you what.
No, that's just how it's exciting. You're doing a lot of really cool films like Warner. We got to be excited about it. Like, we have to. But no, I just feel like
from now on, I'm only to impress with you, man. I'm getting all the others to tell them, listen, we got to be on. We got to be on. PD is the guy.
I appreciate that. My point about the storyteller aspect of things is there's a lot going on. Like, you shoot a lot of these films, and some people don't realize, because you've had a lot of films come out. Like, you have this one coming out, Collection, Echo Boomers, that they come out around similar times, but sometimes like some of these films were kind of maybe produced or put together like late, like before like other ones, and the release comes out, like for example like Echo Boomers, maybe you shot that a certain while ago and everything. Do people get the landscape, do you think, still, the people that work in it, where there's like two parts of the job a little bit? There's like the actually going in and working on it, and then the doing this, right, like the promoting of things. Like, it's interesting.
It is interesting, but I think that's because the films that I've made in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the landscape of the way that film is being viewed is very differently. And I know, unfortunately, we've gone through a very difficult time the last 2 years with COVID. You know, I haven't worked in the last 18 months being very mindful of what's going on around the world. But prior to that, I had made a fair few films, and my production company that I run with my brother, who's my producing partner, we have been mindful about what we want to produce and what we want to put out into the world. You know, at the end of the day, we're creatives that are trying to please, you know, an audience. You know, we want to then make films that we would want to see. But where we land in the world now is because of COVID, you know, it's exponentially progressed the way that we view film on streaming services, you know, and that is fantastic because the filmmaker gets a little bit more freedom. We get to make films that maybe not necessarily would be made in the past, and you get a platform that you probably potentially get more views. Because going to the cinema, however much I love going to the theater, I really genuinely think it's become an event. You know, it's become an event experience, and now we get to experience film in a different way, and still have the events that we will go and see. I'll go see James Bond in the theater. I'll go see a Marvel film in the theater. I'll go see Batman in the theater. But then there's other experiences that I would love that I can have from the experience of my home. And because of that, it's given us an opportunity to make films like Echo Boomers, Collection. You know, I know Warning is also coming out in the theaters with Lionsgate, but you know, and then I just did a movie called Infernal Machine with my company, with myself, actually Alice Eve again, and Guy Pearce. That will be on Paramount Plus. You know, so it's a really, I feel like the environment of film is really becoming very supportive of filmmakers and supportive of creatives. So yeah, it's a very exciting time.
And we're gonna get back to Warner, but to add to that a little bit too, it's interesting too, because what you're kind of talking about is kind of adding to one of the reasons why I think we're in the golden age of TV and content and film right now, is because I get, pardon me?
100%.
But don't you find the main reason, like, yeah, the storytelling is amazing, the writing is amazing, the cinematography is amazing, but I think the global aspect of things is the real reason, like the access that like countries all over the world have access to all this content because of the streaming services. That blows my mind a little bit, to be honest with you.
What you're doing is now is you're not segregating different communities. Like America and England normally had same day releases, and then Australia would have something else, and then now you can put something across the world, and there is an integration throughout the world coming together, watching something, and you know, having a fan-based community that kind of can interact and talk about what the film was, and we have social, and we have this ability to connect with people around the world, you know. So yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Absolutely. And getting back to the film for a wrap up quickly, have you thought about takeaway? I mean, it's coming out, you know, in October. Have you thought about takeaways in terms of what you're hoping the audience gets out of it?
October 22nd.
October 22nd, exactly. Have you thought about takeaways, like what you're hoping people are going to get out of the film when they watch it, Alex?
Yeah, it's you know, we're in a very interesting time that technology is very beneficial in some ways in the medical field, and also creating communities to promote positive messaging. But it's also, there's a balance to that, and there is obviously also negative side effects. We are entering like a precipice of how we are sometimes having a little bit of a distorted reality in the way that we communicate, the way that we present ourselves, and what is the truths that are being told to us. And so I think the thought-provoking element of this is that, you know, we have to take responsibility for ourselves in the way that we manage our time, and be mindful of our social media, and mindful of what information we're taking in, because we are in a new era where information is so accessible, and that is fantastic. But it's also, you know, there's an element of danger to that. And so I think this movie will definitely create an element of awareness towards that and a mindfulness. And because of the segments touch upon so many different aspects of the negative and positive sides of technology, you'll walk away, talking about each segment, obviously it's all interwoven, but each segment understanding, this and this and this, and it will create a conversation. I love films like this, and I think one of the greatest things about a film like this is that I'm only in it, not a small amount, but I'm in it an amount that I can enjoy the film and feel proud to be a part of something like this.
And I think thought-provoking is the perfect way to put that. This film is very thought-provoking. I really like that you said that. Last quick question before we wrap up. You've worked on tons of amazing projects, a great body of work over the past years as well. And a lot of people, rightfully so, around the world enjoy your work, look up to you in a lot of ways as well, in terms of you've been working on some great projects. Do you have quick advice for creators, film and TV creators around the world very quickly? Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, going back to actually what you're saying is, look what you're doing. You can buy a mic, you can buy, advertisement, and you can sit here and you can promote and create a show. You can create a platform for you as an individual, as a creative. We have so many opportunities to put out our work, and my advice is not be caught up on the response or the element of hype, and more concentrate on the creativity of you as an individual and putting out, whether one person enjoys or 1 million people enjoy. It's the process that's the most important, and not getting wrapped up in anything else. And then whatever your view of success is always distorted, because as a creative, there is no success. Success comes, it goes. It's the success is the experience, and as long as we're focused on the experience of the things that we're doing, that is what is going to help us grow as individuals.
Absolutely. Alex, I want to thank you so much for coming on Popternative to chat about Warning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So October 22nd via Lionsgate, it's going to be out. Everyone's going to be able to get a chance to see it. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Just on my Instagram, it's just my name. And yeah.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Warning October 22nd via Lionsgate. Until next time, this is Alex Pettyfer and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.